Where have Josh and Amber been?
Let's talk about it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to WaiGuo Friends English.
Welcome back.
Welcome
to WaiGuo Friends English.
back to WaiGuo Friends English. There has been so many things that have happened in 2025, and we want to get to it. So the first things that you guys haven't seen is a whole lot of our videos, and that's because we took a pause because there was a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of stuff with our families. There was a lot of stuff with our life. There was a lot of stuff with kids getting sick. It was so much. But there was also something that we've been cooking in the back.
All of this hecticness and the difficulties of 2025 has really gotten us to sit down as business owners and to sit down and think, okay, what can we do with our program? Fluency Fast Track was started as busy, overwhelmed parents of 2 young children trying to work and make ends meet. And we knew the language learners struggle as parents who are working jobs and juggling life and doing all the things, even living in the country, speaking the language around us, right? We really still struggled to learn. And it wasn't because we had lack of opportunity. It was really because we couldn't focus. Things were too busy. So Fluency Fast Track was born out of that, where we have small group classes, no more than 5 people in one class. We do lots of focused, pointed work. We point you to things that you actually need to work on rather than sending you through an entire course that you don't need 90% of, right? The point is like focused, efficient practice so you actually grow by fixing the habits that you need to fix. And you don't focus at all on the things that you don't need to fix. That's the whole point and thrust of Fluency Fast Track. But even last year, so many things were happening. We were taken out of our home all the time, multiple times for our hospital stays or family members passing or having to deal with so many difficult things. And it really interrupted us a lot in the flow of things. We were like, thinking about our program, people are going through this. We've sat down with many of you guys. You guys have been awesome. We've been able to meet so many of you through these personal action chats that we do. And kept hearing the same thing. People are busy. People are just trying to make a living. They're living paycheck to paycheck, right? And their kid gets sick and now they lose some days at work and language learning goes out the window, as it should in that case. So we were like, what can we do to help in those circumstances in the 2025 of life seasons?
Yeah, honestly, our busyness is just a microcosm of what we all feel, because the thing about life is that it doesn't slow down. And if you have goals, they have to fit within your life circumstances, because the name of the game is endurance. And if you, in your language learning journey, if you in your English learning journey are struggling to just get it on paper, or struggling just to do it on a schedule, it's going to be impossible when it comes to reality. So what we have tried to do is figure out another way that we can benefit you guys by making things a little bit more on your own time. So instead of having to show up for predetermined group classes, whether or not you can or can make it because your kid has to go to the hospital, instead of that, what if there was a way that you could still get the personalized feedback of an English teacher, not an AI? And what if there was a way that you can do that on your own time? Mm-hmm. So it's on your own time and on our own time so that you can still get the feedback you need to keep progressing forward, and all of that would happen in less than 10 minutes a day.
So this is where we are launching another portion of Fluency Fast Track that's just focused on challenges. That's it. You show up every day and you've got a challenge that you can take and you can speak. You can read a little bit about something in American culture that's unique. We pride ourselves in not focusing on textbook topics, but you can focus on something real in life. And then we can work on it with English. There's a little bit of vocabulary there if you need it or want it. If not, that's okay. You've got speaking prompts, and then you speak and you send it to real human beings. And those real human beings, meaning your peers, your other Fluency Fast Track challenge takers, as well as Josh and I, will be taking your response and responding. So you can respond to multiple people if you want, or you can just listen to Josh and I's feedback. You can even go back and forth with us a little bit. That is okay. But the whole point is, hey, let's push our English and let's actually use it. And hey, one of the things that we really noticed is the reason life has always been busy for us. But in 2025, it wasn't a matter of just getting up earlier so we could do Mandarin practice. It wasn't a matter of just staying up a little later. because we had a sick baby that had to be held almost all the time, constantly. So he could not sleep. He could not eat unless he was sitting upright. There is a lot of difficulty there. So there was no time for us to film not holding a baby because of that. And he's grown out of it a little bit. That's the only reason we're able to start making videos again. But thinking of that with language practice, like it's got to be able to fit in your hand, right? It's got to be on your mobile. It's got to be something that you can do while holding a baby. For those of you moms out there who know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's got to be something that you can do on the go. Like if you're on the road or you're traveling or you're doing something, most of us don't have laptops. You just have your smartphone, right? So that's one of those things that we have also pushed to do, is to modernize our platform to make it more mobile friendly.
All in all, guys, this process of the craziness that is life necessitates that we give a little bit of our time every day, or at least consistently, instead of having those big, massive chunks of time. I still remember back in the day when I had so much free time that I could go to a coffee shop and smash out 100 vocabulary words in one sitting. We're not there anymore. But we can still do things to not just maintenance your language, but also to continue to progress it in actionable steps. That's reading a little bit at the end of every day. That's practicing speaking. That's listening to kids' songs in the car with your kids in your target language. It's being intentional about trying to do a little bit every day and getting the feedback from a native speaker. You can't just keep going and just think that you're acquiring language. What you're probably doing is acquiring more and more mistakes. What you need is a little bit at a time with a native speaker and with a native English teacher, so that they can really hammer in on just that one error that you said there. If we do a speaking challenge, a lot of times it comes down to one specific point that we give you as homework for that evening. So you do the speaking challenge in the morning. We say, hey, that's really good, but here's something you struggle on. You struggle on the TH sound. So what I want you to do is try to say this, that, these, those tonight, because those are great demonstrative pronouns. Everybody in America knows these pronouns in that order for some reason. Practice this tonight and then come back tomorrow and try to incorporate one of those demonstrative pronouns in your next response. This, that, these, those. So that your practice becomes much more focused, much more intentional, and much more actionable.
Yes, and as for Fluency Fast Track Proper, we still have it. It's still going, and it will be open whenever we have seats available. But those of you who are in the thick of it right now, life is not holding back and things are difficult, but you still want to push your English, that's still one of your goals, then get something that's going to do the program for you, something that you don't have to think about, something that comes to you. Because if you don't automate it, despite your best intentions and whatever, one Saturday or 2 Saturdays in a semester that you're able to really pour into time to planning and setting it up and getting all the things, that's going to run out. And if things are not better or easier in your life at that time, then the odds of you coming back to replan your own program is not going to be high. Being able to go through and listen to a lot of YouTube videos. We love that you guys are here. We love that you guys listen to these videos, but it's also very much in one ear and out the other, unless you are very focused and careful about paying attention to how your brain actually learns and remembers, because video after video after video is not how your brain learns. So that's one of the things for you to really get in there. If you're looking for something that's I don't want to think about it, I want something there every day, and I want actual feedback from a human being, not just ChatGPT. And I want to be able to ask questions. Any questions that I have. I want some editing help. When I'm writing something in English, I need to reach out to somebody and ask if this makes sense. Did I do it right? Fluency Fast Track is the way to go for that. You can also find lots of other great programs out there, but how high touch they are or not, that's the question. So really, whatever you are able to do, go for it. And don't give up on it.
If you continue to push, fluency can happen, and it will happen if you can finish the race.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, the language learners that we come into contact with, people who have done really well for themselves in language, but they've slowed down, but life's gotten busy, but it's gotten crazy, but you don't know exactly my lifestyle. And it's I agree, we don't know, but we do know that a little bit every day, consistently with consistent feedback, is a surefire way to stay in the game longer and then therefore progress in your fluency.
This is the part where I get to brag on Josh, because he's actually lived that in 2025. In all the craziness, having to hold a baby upright so often, having to work so hard, having a lot of people like a lot of things slip through, a lot of difficulties, a lot of extra things happen. Josh has kept doing it. He's kept showing up for Mandarin, even if it's, hey, I'm going to teach my kids something today. Hey, I'm going to listen to Chinese songs with my kids in the car while we go and do errands in town today. Hey, I'm going to sit down and actually try to read this book. I'm going to do it. And I might only get like a line in before the baby wakes up again, but I'm going to do it. This has been very real, very real. But this is one of those things that Josh has actually been able to really keep up with, and he's done really, really well with it. So that's one of the things. I'm sure it seems like sometimes that we talk in such idealistic ways, and it's not. We really offer you guys the advice that we actually live, things that we know is possible because we're living it.
We'll do another video some other time, but we are specifically trying to teach our kids how to speak Chinese, and that process looks very different because we do not now live in the context and the environment that speaks Chinese. There are no Chinese speakers around us, but our kids are learning Chinese, and that process is challenging, and that process you have to be flexible with. That process is a lot slower, but it's possible. And that's the process that we lean towards a little bit over a long time, consistently goes a long way.
Absolutely. And anytime you can come together with other people going the same direction, who understand the struggle that you're in, even better. You have the support there. You have people that understand. And that's what Fluency Fast Track is all about. Better English together.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this video. It has been a while, but it has been good to be back. So if you are interested, we are going to put a link to Fluency Fast Track down below so that you can check it out. If that's something that would suit you or suit your budget or suit your time, we would love to see you and love to hear you there.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's it for this video. We'll catch you on the next one.